真空
What's going on, people? System Psycho once again back with Josh for a comic book video. This video is on Civil War II. Issue 2 just came out yesterday, so we had the chance to read it. We want to give our thoughts on it, what we think about the whole Civil War II storyline so far, how it's evolving, coming together. So where do you want to start, man? I mean, I know you just read it more recently than me.
Yeah, I did. I'll be honest with you. The Civil War in general right now, I know that a lot of people are liking Civil War 2. For me personally, there's been some parts of it that I do like, and then there's parts of it that I don't like. I know it's early on. I mean, we've only had 0 through 2 so far to read, but for whatever reason, it's not really jumping off the pages at me like the original Civil War did.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, in this issue, to be honest, I mean, the fact that the Tony suit goes in there, to infiltrate the Inhumans, and it just kind of fell flat a little bit for me, to be honest with you. Is that being like the lead-in, especially because the last issue you had Rhodey died, and She-Hulk was
on the verge of dying?
It looked like she was on life support. And this is where they decided to kind of jump into this issue. It kind of, I must say, I didn't feel like fulfilled, like reading that as like being the opening of this.
Okay, interesting. Me personally, I don't know what to think of this. I feel like I just read it. I just put it down and read another comic. I don't even think about it twice, dude. I'm like, okay. All right, next one.
Just kind of indifferent towards it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes, man. I mean, it's the only thing I like about it is that it's not too overly complicated, man. Like sometimes I read comic books and their stories are so complicated and shit. This one's not as complicated, and I mean, obviously, I prefer the original Civil War right now, just because I don't know. I felt like the story was a little different, a little better. It had Captain America in it more. I just felt like there was more people in it so far. Right now, I don't even know who's on Tony's side. You know what I mean? Even if he has a side, they don't explain anything like that.
Yeah, that was the first thing I asked you too. Yeah. I was like, well, who's going to be on Tony's side? Because I mean, it looks like basically everyone is backing, Captain Marvel in this conflict, if you will. The thing that's weird to me is that like the quote unquote conflict, and I know that the System explained it when he did the video, which if you didn't check out his video, check it out, about when they killed off War Machine. It's Inhuman that has the ability to tell the future. And so the two sides of it, the conflict here is that Tony feels like the course of nature or course of events should play out by themselves, and Carol Danvers, she believes that like they should stop things before they happen. For me, I personally think that that's a weak plot point to have like a quote unquote civil war. I just don't. Okay. I just don't feel like that's like really a big enough. I guess it could be a big enough driving point, but it just kind of just feels like a thrown out idea. Like the thing with this issue for me, or for this story arc for me in general, and this issue kind of has set that tone for me, is that I kind of feel like they're just trying to capitalize on the success of the movie Civil War and doing a Civil War II event, as opposed to giving us like a really good standalone story.
I mean, with the story and shit, like I can kind of see both sides. Like to me, when I first read the first issue, right, obviously there's a guy that can tell the future, so you think like we should definitely use this guy. Obviously, right. So what's the problem? But then it gets to the point where it's like, what are we gonna do with him? We're gonna, put him in prison before they do anything. So it's like Minority Report. But in this issue, you see that I guess Tony Stark has some concerns about it, and he kind of feels that the character, I think his name is Ulysses. Yeah. He kind of feels like maybe Ulysses, potentially kind of altering. Like he'll have these visions, but maybe in a way his bias or something is altering these visions.
Right.
Maybe they really don't happen that way. You know what I mean? And so I was wondering how they're going to change, because I mean, just from issue 1, I was like, how are they going to elaborate on this? You know what I mean? But now with Tony Stark thinking that maybe he could switch this stuff, it kind of added a little bit more to it, I think.
Yeah,
but
the whole like the whole scene where he has him and like he's trying to like manipulate his brain to like function to use his power so he can study how the power is being used and stuff. I guess that was pretty cool. But in all honesty, I mean, for me, the 2 standout parts in this book is probably the stupidest line in the entire book, which was when Carol Danvers shows up when Tony Stark is actually interrogating Ulysses, and he says, "Just in time for Parcheesi," and then Captain Marvel says, "That line was Parcheesi." I was like, oh my god, this is like it was just so, it was so stupid that it was corny, but it made me laugh because it's just like that dumbass humor that like I like from like Resident Evil or like from like video games.
You know what's funny? I don't even remember that part of the comic. Like I said, I read it. I probably just read right over that. I didn't give a shit. I'm like, what?
Put the issue down.
Yeah, and then you were like, that part cheesy. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, part cheesy. I was like, my brain is probably so numb to like dumb shit that I just skip right over that part.
That you don't even care.
Alright, man, whatever.
But like I thought that was so stupid in the book, but it was stupid in a way that it did kind of make me laugh. And then, I mean, the fact that and this is a spoiler, guys, the vision that Ulysses has is that Bruce Banner as the Hulk comes back and basically kills everybody. Yeah. And so that part of this book, that intrigues me because I like the Hulk. I like the fact that the Hulk is a wild card and that he's not gonna like show allegiance to either side when he is in Hulk form. He's just gonna like fuck shit up. And I think that that's pretty cool. So at least the end of the book. So throughout the whole rest of the story, I was pretty indifferent towards it. But at least the end, it left me something, a reason to come back and read the next issue.
I think it's a pretty cool cliffhanger, in all honesty. I'd like to see how that turns out, so we'll see.
What would you rate it if you had to rate it?
Oh, man. Just this issue? I mean...
Yeah, just this issue.
I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5. I really like the art. I think the art is fucking tight.
Yeah.
I think it's tight. I think it's maybe a little too dark.
Really?
I think they use a little... The tone of the comic just seems a little dark. I don't know. But I give it a 3. I mean, like I said, man, the story's not hard to follow. I think it's a little interesting. The art is great, but it's not like I'm like, ah, you gotta read this shit. I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm indifferent. So I think a 3 out of 5 is alright. What about you?
I think that's a fair rating.
Yeah, 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5 is a fair rating because I mean, like I said, at the very least, the cliffhanger leaves you wanting to read the next episode. It's not a hard comic book to follow. The tone is there. You're right. The art is awesome. It reminds me a lot of the Invincible Iron Man series that's going on right now. So art, dialogue, cliffhanger, they're all positives, but outside of that, the story itself it's just not there yet.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see as it develops.
Yep.
Okay, guys, so that was our thoughts on Civil War issue 2 and pretty much just on Civil War in particular, what's going on so far. So if you guys have any comments on that, if you guys are actually reading this story, let us know down below. And also, if you guys want us to review each issue, let us know down below as well. We can review each issue that comes out as it goes, or we can just review it until it ends. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and follow us on Facebook. All that stuff down below. Of course, the links will be in the description box. And once again, guys, System Psycho Josh signing off. Peace out.